It's really important to set the stage appropriately when people first enter your organization. Those first impressions tell the employee immediately whether what you promised is going to be lived out or not. Most people adjust their opinions about the organization after about 6 months. There's usually kind of a honeymoon period in there, and they're looking for some very particular things. They're pretty basic, but oftentimes overlooked. One is that they want to know what they're supposed to believe in the organization. How do we do things around here? That goes a lot of different directions, including how they learn all the benefits and everything that are available, but also how are things done and what do people believe authentically in the organization. Second, they need to know what their strengths are. So early on, they need to know and be able to leverage and think about who they naturally are and be able to leverage those strengths. Third, they need to know what their role is in the organization. How do I use my strengths, and how do I connect with others and do what I do best in this organization? Fourth, they need to know who their team is. They need to know who their partners are in the organization, people who will look out for them, people who will support them as they're moving forward in the organization, even people who will have their back. And fifth, they need to know what their future looks like in the organization. That might seem like something you don't need to set the stage for that early on in an organization, but people are thinking right away, particularly these newer generation of workers are thinking about what their future is, what their career is going to look like. The number one reason people are staying or leaving organizations is whether they see their career development happening in that organization. And so most people are looking and watching for other openings if they don't see that. The advantages to building a strengths-based culture are that I like to think of it as a shortcut to development. It's a way to build a more efficient culture where people can rely on each other and have productive conversations with each other based on who they naturally are. It's easy for people who have different psychological tendencies to think that somebody else ought to be more like them. A strengths-based culture appreciates differences and leverages those differences to make everybody's jobs easier and more efficient and more rewarding. So it's the manager provides science-based discoveries that not only help the individual develop their own strengths and career progression, but also provide interventions that organizations can immediately deploy to improve the efficiency of their organization.